Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever felt like you're just drowning in data, but you're absolutely starving for actual insights? If that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive into a tool that is totally changing the game for how businesses see and understand their own information, Microsoft Power BI. Let's get into how it turns that spreadsheet chaos into real strategy. Okay, be honest. Does this picture on the left look a little too familiar? Yeah, endless rows, confusing columns, and you're just trying to find one single answer in a sea of cells. It's a total headache. But now, look over to the right. See that? Clean, clear, interactive. That right there is the Power BI difference. It's all about turning the chaos on the left into the beautiful clarity you see on the right. So, what is this magic tool behind the transformation? It's called Power BI. And look, if you already know your way around Excel, you're honestly halfway there. Just think of Power BI as Excel's superpowered cousin, one that was built from the ground up for one single purpose, turning really complex data into these stunning, interactive dashboards. All right, so let's really get to the heart of it. What exactly is Power BI? And how does it actually help you turn all that raw data into smarter, faster decisions? At its core, Power BI is a business intelligence or BI platform, which, is just a fancy way of saying it's a system that does three things incredibly well. First, it connects to all your different data sources. Second, it automatically cleans and organizes that data for you. And third, it lets you build these beautiful interactive reports that don't just show you what happened, but actually help you decide what to do next. And the whole process, it just follows this really beautiful, logical path. You start with your raw data, right? Then you build a model to connect all the dots. After that, you create a visualization to bring it all to life, which then gives you an insight. And that insight, that's what ultimately leads to a better decision. It's this clear, repeatable journey from just a pile of numbers to real, concrete action. So you might be thinking, why not just stick with Excel? Well, this is where the difference becomes crystal clear. When you're talking about handling massive data sets, or connecting to multiple sources at once, or building dashboards that you can actually click on and explore, honestly, Power BI is just in another league entirely. It's built for the kind of scale and complexity that modern businesses have to deal with every single day. Okay, so that's the what. Now let's get to the how. In this next section, we're going to dive into a super practical cheat sheet for the most powerful visuals you can use to really make your data tell a compelling story. First up, the absolute classic, the bar or column chart. Its job is so simple, but so powerful. You use it to compare different things. Think sales per region, or maybe for a construction project, the number of issues logged each quarter. And here is your cheat sheet. It's a simple recipe. Your categories, like your quarters, you just pop those on the x-axis. The numbers you're measuring, like the count of non-conformance reports, those go on the y-axis. And hey, if you want to break it down even further, maybe by contractor, that's what the legend is for. Simple, right? Next up, the line chart. Look, anytime you want to see how something is changing over time, are sales going up, are issues going down, is performance flat, the line chart is your absolute best friend. It's all about spotting those trends. And the setup? Just as easy. Your date or your time period, that always goes on the x-axis. And the number you're tracking, that goes on the y-axis. And boom, instantly you can see if your monthly non-conformance reports are trending up or down. Okay, what about showing parts of a whole? Well, that's where the pie or donut chart comes in. It's perfect for things like market share, or in our example, what percentage of the total issues belongs to each contractor. Now here's a pro tip. Try to keep it clean. Use it for 6 or fewer categories. Any more than that, and it just becomes a confusing mess. Setting this one up is so incredibly easy. You literally only need 2 things: the number you're measuring and the category you want to slice it by. You just pop that category into the legend, and just like that, you've instantly revealed who's got the biggest slice of the pie. And finally, one of the most important visuals on any dashboard, the KPI card. Its job is to scream a single vital number right from the top of the page. Think total sales, open issues, or closure rate. It's the headline number that everyone needs to know right up front.
So we've seen all these beautiful charts, but how does Power BI actually make them? Let's pull back the curtain for a second and take a look at the engine that really powers this whole thing.
It all starts in a place called the Power Query Editor. And this is where the real magic happens. Seriously, think of it like a data cleaning laboratory. You bring in your messy, inconsistent, raw data, and you teach Power BI how to fix it just once. And after that, it does it for you, perfectly, every single time you refresh. No more manual cleaning, ever. So the entire workflow really looks like this. First, you connect to your data, wherever it lives. Second, you transform it in that data lab we just talked about. Third, and this is crucial, you model it by linking your tables together. And only then, as the very final step, do you get to visualize it and build your dashboard.
And that third step, the data model, it is the absolute key. It really is the brain of your entire report. It's what lets Power BI understand how your issues log, and your contractor list, and your site locations are all related to each other. This is what lifts it so far beyond a single flat spreadsheet and gives it its real power.
Now let's bring this all together. Why go through all this trouble in the first place? Well, because it leads to a massive real-world payoff, making truly data-driven decisions.
This is the difference right here. You stop guessing, and you start knowing. You know your non-conformance report closure rate is exactly 87%. It's no longer just a gut feeling. It's a hard fact. It's a number you can now track, you can manage, and you can actively work to improve.
You also know that on average, it takes 12 days to close an issue. Now, is that good? Is that bad? Who knows? But now you have a baseline. You can see if a new process you put in place is making things faster or slower. You can finally manage what you measure.
And you know what? This is what leadership really wants to see. They do not have time for a 500-row spreadsheet. They want the bottom line, a few key numbers, some clear trends, and simple red, yellow, and green indicators. They want to know the health of the project in 30 seconds, and they want it updated automatically.
And this gets us to the most important shift of all. You move away from that painful, manual grind of creating weekly reports, and you move into a world of continuous performance monitoring, where the answers you need are always live and always right at your fingertips.
So, I'll leave you with this one thought. Every spreadsheet, every log, every single piece of data in your organization is trying to tell you a story. The real question is, are you giving it the right tools to speak clearly? Thanks so much for tuning in.